Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my brothers and sisters? I hope you're having a great night. It's a little after 6 o'clock, so it's dark already. Um, so I've started this series called How Life Works, teaching my son things, and so far we've mopped the floor, which he wanted to do, and today I let him scan and pay for our items at the Home Depot. It's small things, but it makes them feel important, which they are. And they need to learn about life. So when I was growing up and I was a child, the way that I was raised was children are to be seen and not heard. Do as I say, not as I do, um, and stuff like that. I never once learned about credit, banking, financial stability, or anything. That was not children's business for some reason. But how else are we supposed to learn, right? So I want my children to know this and to teach them this so they don't start out completely on their own with no knowledge of how the world works or how to do simple things. Um, I'm not saying my parents didn't love me. They definitely all loved me and I loved them. Maybe they didn't know about the stuff, um, you know. But like I said, growing up, we were taught that, you know, stay out of grown folks' business. Well, that grown folks' business is our business to a certain point because when we become grown, we're going to need to know how to do it. All right, we're going to need to know about money, finances. We're going to need to know these things if we're going to be successful. So I'm teaching my child at a young age how to do everything. I'm teaching about credit, banks, saving, which I don't like banks. And some people think it's a joke when I say I don't have a savings account in a bank. No, I put my money in a brokerage account or into cryptocurrencies, and a lot of people laugh about that. But let's look at the statistics. If you put $10,000 into a savings account, even at 10-15% interest in years, you might have grown your account a few $100s, but let's take inflation into account. That $10,500 is now worth $8,000 with inflation. Okay, so it's not very good. But if you put it into a brokerage account and you invest smartly and you know how to do these things, and cryptocurrencies are actually very good now if you know how to do it, there's no limit on the potential of growth. Yes, it's volatile, so you don't want to have your life savings in one place with a cryptocurrency or a stock. But do your research, your due diligence, and invest it. Scared money does not make any money, and that's true. Look at the rich people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. They didn't come from rich families. No, they found problems and they solved it. They took chances. So that's why I don't use the savings account, because honestly, it's just kind of stupid to stay in time to let your money sit and dwindle away with the prices of inflation. But so I keep mine in different accounts. Anyway, you know, like I said, as a child, we were treated as children, that children are not part of the adult group and we don't belong in their conversations. And a lot of times when they would talk, even to my early 20s, they would be having their conversations about something. I'm like, oh, I know about this. I'll give my input, and a lot of times they wouldn't even hear me. It's like, did you hear me? They're like, oh, yeah. Okay, no, whatever. You just don't care. You're not listening. So to this day, even when I'm with a group of adults, even at work, for some reason I still feel like a child and not an adult, even though I'm over 30 years old. I'm not going to raise my children to feel like that. When they become an adult, they're going to be an adult. They get the exact same respect as every adult deserves, as every human being deserves. and they're not going to go into the world blind. They're going to know how to do everything, inshallah. Teach them how to fix cars, how to clean a house, how to do simple plumbing, how to manage credit, how to build credit, how to manage money, how to do all that stuff. I want my children to be successful, and more successful than me, if anything. There are parents out there who get jealous of their children's success. I don't know why. Mine are not like that. I promise. Mine would never, if I need something from them, they will not even allow me to pay it back. Literally. I would have to hold them down, tie them up, and put a gun to their head and force them to take the money and put it into their bank account. Because that's how they are, and that's amazing. And that's how I want to be. I would never take anything back from my kids that I give, because that's my job. They're my children. So with that being said, I'm going to make this little series of me teaching my kids how to do simple things in life. Things you should teach your kids how to do so they learn. So when it's time for them to grow up and be an adult, they have every resource and every piece of knowledge possible to do that successfully. And that is my plan. So this week it has been mopping the floor and scanning and paying for items at the store. I don't know what will come next, but we will see. Inshallah, it'll be something very valuable. I hope somebody can learn and benefit from this. And remember, teach your children how to live. Don't tell them do as you say, not as you do. Tell them to follow your example, and you lead by example. They see you do it, and they do it, and that's great. All right, none of that do as I say stuff, because what they're thinking when you say do as I say, not as I do, is if they're doing it, it's definitely fine if I do it. They feel like we're hypocrites, and that is hypocritical to say that. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. I hope this series brings a lot of fun, adventures, and insight to everyone who might see it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace, blessings, and mercy of God Almighty, Allah, be upon you all. Good night.